Hello everyone, welcome to Unstuffing Turkey Podcast. I am Chef. This is second video. It's Wednesday, 4/13/2022. It's almost 10 p.m. It's 9:57 actually to be exact. And here we go, continuing from where we left off. I don't want to have a video that goes past 20 minutes simply because despite the fact that I can have many titles or titles in each video, I don't want to have very long videos because later on I'm going to have live streams and longer videos that are designed to be long because they cover one particular subject very extensively. So I just want to leave 30-minute, 40-minute, hour-long plus 2-hour, 3-hour videos for that, and not let daily videos go past 20 minutes per video. Here we go. We're on Nordic Monitor and continuing with. Oh yeah, here we go. This is Interfaith dialogue with Jews, Christians cited as criminal offense in Turkey in a new indictment. You will not find this in the mainstream media. Simply because all this, let me see, what's the, that's the information about the photo, let's see, on March 2nd, okay. This happened quite recently, as you can see the, date here, but Ramadan is over, and after Ramadan, what happens is, the month after Ramadan is a month of festival. And it's called, if you translate the name of the month verbatim, it would be Victim Festival. Well, all in Turkish it's called, Kurban Bayramı. What is it? Well, it is where for an entire month in the Islamic world, the streets run with blood, and those are blood of various types of animals, sheep, even chicken, if, one is not wealthy enough to afford sheep, rams, goats and bulls and cows and whatnot. And what they do is, they obtain these animals, usually one, depending on, how wealthy one is, and it's per family. So they take care of it, hold on to it for a bit, and then they slaughter it. The meat gets distributed within family, but also within neighbors too. And, that's a thing that they do. And Muslim apologists spin this such a way that if you listen to some of their arguments, it is so spectacular that I'm surprised they haven't got a backing from PETA yet. But that's neither here nor there. Right at the beginning of the Victim Festival, the churches in Turkey, specifically in Istanbul, I think it was, one of them, had a marquee right in front, right by the entrance, and it wished all the Muslims in Turkey and the Islamic world over a prosperous month of Ramadan. That was in the news. Now, this will never be. What does it mean by interfaith dialogue? Well, I'm Nordic Monitor, and look at this. An indictment recently filed against a group that is critical of the government in Turkey. Public prosecutors cited interfaith dialogue with Jews and Christians as criminal evidence in leveling accusations. So, it's the elephant in the room, isn't it? Here we go. The Gülen movement. I'm going to do a very extensive video on this, or I may not. I might keep it brief in the sense that after the first 20-30 minutes of the video will probably be slaughter. I would probably be slaughtering a long dead horse, but neither here nor there. It's gonna happen. You talk to a Turkish person, or you go to Turkey, you will hear this all the time. Gülen movement, Gülen movement, Gülen movement. The person in Pennsylvania, Gülen movement. The anti-regime entity. They have so many different freaking words and terminologies for this, and it's as long as you basically, if you can't win an argument with anyone, just state that they're part of the Gülen movement in Turkey, and everything immediately turns against them. Nordic Monitor itself is said to be associated with Gülen movement. Here's the thing. Gülen movement itself has been, I'm not saying absolutely in any shape or form that Gülen movement doesn't exist. What it is that Gülen movement has been part of the Turkish fabric for decades, many decades. And the current President Erdogan himself was beneficiary of Gülen movement. One of its many beneficiaries, many prime ministers, many presidents and people of significance in Turkey have benefited from Gülen movement. It's just that when Erdogan came to power, he went after the Gülen movement as if he got to that point, got to that position all on merit and his hard work alone, and tried to destroy it. Listen to this statistic, and I will cover all this stuff when I'm doing a specific video on the Gülen movement. But 1 out of every 30 people in Turkey have been investigated by the Turkish government due to terrorism charges. No charges have been officially filed, but Turkish government has a system where, and those of you that are fond of history buffs would see parallels to this in the past. Excuse me. They have a system where you can go to a specific website that's associated with the government and report on anybody, friends, family, anybody. And this government, this regime has been in power for the last 20 years. So there has been a lot of people just reporting on each other all over the country. And to this day, when you do the math, it's 1 out of every 30 people that have been investigated for alleged terrorism accusations. The number is actually kind of low. I expected it to be higher than that. But it all kind of ties into that. It's a huge whole ball of yarn, and it's one of the reasons why this podcast is called Unstuffing Turkey, because this bird is beyond overstuffed. But we're going to unstuff it one handful at a time. Now let's get away from this. Remember to follow me on Twitter and also the rest of social media. When you go to my channel, on the banner and on the about section of my channel, all the social media links are listed there. The banner only allows 5 social media links to be posted there, but it's more than 5, and the rest you can see at the bottom. Let me see here. Let me close this. Okay, what is decan? Decan means, by the way, thorn on a rose bush, on a stem of a rose. Let me see what's going on here, because I'm not going to, bore you with all sorts of, domestic stuff. I mean, if this stuff is important to you, and I'm assuming if it is that important, you must be a Turk, or you probably are, so you know where to go and get this stuff. But this is for my fellow Americans. Just to, let's see here. Oh yeah. she's a reporter that works for this agency, and they fired her because she became a mom. I thought that was just interesting, but here we go. This is why I have this up. Now, Diken, or Thorn, unfortunately, is in Turkish. There is an English section, as you can see right here, but they are, which one I call it? They don't have all their stories, all their posts in English, only select ones. So here's something that you'll find interesting. This is to give an idea in regards to how does the Turkish government, the regime, not the government, just the Turkish regime, aka the White Palace, which is the presidential palace that has been built recently for a cost of over $6 billion, and it's a huge monstrosity. Deals with questions and accusations from members of the parliament, members of any of the opposition parties from the parliament, and there was an inquiry that it says Cumhurbaşkanlığından araç sayısı ve akaryakıt giderleriyle ilgili soru önergesine yanıt gerektiği kadar. The cojones some of these people have. Let's see what Google Translate says, because this is quite funny. Response to the question of the presidency about the number of vehicles and fuel costs, as much as necessary. This is a tongue-in-cheek Turkish answer, and it's twofold. One being that the presidency is saying basically it's none of your business, and second, they're trying to show that the presidency does not really care about, the questions that may be posed by the opposition or any party member. I mean, not every party is the opposition. Some just sit there because they only have, one seat in the parliament. But that's neither here nor there. The point is, we don't care what you think. We don't care what your questions are. And here's a question. Hey, how much money are you spending on the presidential vehicles and gas or fuel? As much as needed. So that's the type of rhetoric and conduct this administration uses towards its own elected body, in which representatives of its own citizens are elected and sent to represent their constituents. So the rest of the story just goes further and further into it, but it's just a lot of mud throwing and mud slinging. I'm not going to bore you with that kind of we have more than enough of that here in the States. But let's see, let's close this up and economy. Let's see. Wow, they're talking about our inflation. ABD is the acronym for United States. It's actually American United Governments. If you do a verbatim translation of it, that's what ABD is. But it says that the inflation has soared to 41-year max. So now you got to remember, our inflation is around 8.5, which is catastrophic for our standards. U.S. tolerates around 1.5 to 2% inflation, and 8.5 is just catastrophic. But going back to what I was saying in regards to when AKP or Erdogan's party took over the administration in Turkey, it's been 20 years. When they took office, the the inflation in Turkey was 54%. Now it is, no, I'm sorry. I believe it was 51%. Now it's 64%. So in 20 years, all they've done is go backwards. But still, if you talk about, you know, yourself all the time, I suppose, then you don't have time to, you know, talk about others. And let's see here. Okay, this has already been. Right. That's the economy. And that is, I'm going to go ahead and end this here. Now, you may, if you've seen, you know, my why you should subscribe video, you would have seen I've gone through, showed my YouTube channel, the channels that I have subscribed, in which, you know, they talk about, they have, you know, various segments in regards to what's being shown in Turkey. I am going to have those separate videos. I'm not going to, you know, go through publications and, you know, that bounce back and forth between, you know, here's a clip from such and such channel, and then let's switch to Twitter, and then let's switch to, you know, such and such newspaper and all that. I don't want to do that. I want everything on, you know, it's dedicated videos, in the sense that, you know, a video will either have its own video or part videos series in a particular video, and same story goes with these publications. So I don't want to mix and match that. I'm gonna take no more of your time. I'm gonna leave this here, and at 17 minutes, I believe it's been long enough. But take care of yourselves, for God and country, and I'll catch you on the next video.